if you look at the manifesto of both parties, APC and PDP, what's the difference?
You're saying that there are no clear differences?
Yes, there are no clear differences in their manifestos. And why that is so is that they have not proclaimed any ideology. The PDP is supposed to be a capitalist party, that is free enterprise, party supporting free trade and all that. But is it doing that? Do we have an environment that encourages entrepreneurship? How many entrepreneurs have we had? If you see the tax policies that we have, is it supportive of growth of businesses? Why do we still have our tax rate on companies being 35%, 30%, when some countries are even saying 10%? Those are clear programs that would show you that a party is ideologically pro-business. And then the other one that is saying that is pro-masses. Where are those things that are the hallmark of a progressive party? Free health services, free education up to university level. And when you cannot provide free education up to university level, where are the loan establishments that will give loan to people so that they can get education? Health. Do you go to the hospitals and then they just write the medicine for you and you go and buy it? Or you have a total concept of health services? So these are the issues. Right now, we saw what Obama is struggling to do as a party about health, to make sure that there's universal coverage. Who cares about, if they say there's free health services in this country? How many people are enjoying that? So these are the issues with the Progressive Party and the so-called Conservative Party we have in Nigeria.
What about the Labour Party?
The Labour Party is supposed to be the party that is anchored on an ideology. But you will agree with me that the Labour Party is just a very another arm of the PDP. They are saying they are Labour, but they are supporting PDP. So it is not based on ideology. It is based on some other considerations that they are supporting PDP. Because if there is a Labour Party, it should be a natural ally of a progressive party.
Like the Workers' Party in other countries.
It's a Workers' Party, yeah. Even in the UK today, the Labour Party still represents the interest of the workers and the masses. Yeah. And then if you want to now join and you say you are supporting, and in any case, we don't have a parliamentary system where you have to look for a junior partner if you cannot form government alone. And that is why Liberal Democratic Party is teaming up with Conservative Party in UK.
Yes.
But that's not what we have here. But in spite of all that, the Labour Party should have distinguished itself as a proper Labour Party and make its appeal to the workers. And it should have had a more, for instance, there was an election in Ekiti State recently. Yeah. The Nigerian Labour Congress was endorsing Fayemi, the candidate of the All Progressive Congress.
Is that the right approach for a Labour Congress?
What I'm trying to say is that should be a party that should be supporting Labour.
Labour, okay.
So you will say that there is really no ideological basis, for the party. So maybe the Labour Party, the Labour Congress feels that Fayemi is the one that can protect the interest of the workers. But what they are saying in the papers that I read is that they are supporting Fayemi because he has really done well in his leadership of Ekiti State. But that's not what Labour should be saying. Which party is for the interest of the workers? What has it done for workers? What has it done for the masses? Because you might be doing a lot of things that are not in the interest of the workers. And that's why when people talk about winning elections based on ideology or grassroots support or something, at the end of the day, what will win you an election is how much you have affected the people. Let's face it, if most of your programs are not linked to the needs of the people, then you may not be re-elected. In spite of the fact that people will see that you have done quite a lot of things. Because we need to distinguish between all these things. You cannot carry on doing infrastructure that has no link with the masses. And this is because there is no ideology. If there is ideology, the ideology of a progressive party should be that we are going to carry out a lot of programs, construction programs, capital project programs that will employ majority of our people. It's not because we are looking for anything, but we will do these programs so that we can get people employed. So it should be an engine of job creation, our infrastructural development. And that would be another way of saying, okay, we are touching the people. But if you have a lot of programs that you are doing and it's only contractors that are making the money, and people are not feeling the impact in the economy, in the economic well-being of the people. Again, this is also linked to ideology. Because when you say your ideology is to the left, everything you'll be doing, you can see the way Obama is going about his own ideology now. Everything they are doing is about employment generation, even their monetary policy of their central bank. And that's why I'm saying that here, we don't have, if there is no ideological orientation, therefore, institutions of the state will pursue different kinds of policies in their different domains, depending on what they want to achieve, because they do not subscribe to an overarching ideological orientation.
Thank you very much, Architect Kola Ogunleye, for that overview and analysis on the Fourth Republic, because we more are in the Fourth Republic, younger ones, so there's a lot to learn. Now, what is your closing statement, and what should be the direction now for the present political parties? You've talked about them defining their ideological framework, and we have elections ahead in Osun, and we also have elections build up even to 2015.
Yeah, I think the current status quo will still remain as we go into the Osun election next month. But my appeal to Nigerian politicians is that they should, be more ideologically driven. It also helps the citizens. That's why when election is coming up, people are always wondering who is going to be the presidential candidate, who is going to be the governorship candidate. As soon as once you have a party that is ideologically driven, you already know that, Party A stands for this. And there are a lot of policies and programs that are already associated with that ideological orientation. They'll provide education, they'll provide health services, they'll provide employment. Most of their policies will be driven by the need to ensure that the state has a very strong control over the situation in the country or in the state. That is an ideology to the left. Nobody talk about socialism anymore, but there is still an ideological orientation that will suggest that you are pro-people, that you are pro-poor. We should be able to know whether you are pro-poor or you are pro-people, or, and because we have a large number of poor people in this country. So if your ideological orientation supports the interest of the poor, one way or the other, and you are able to establish the programs that you have, the link between those programs and your ideological orientation, and to see to it that it is people-oriented, then you will be able to, carry the day. Whereas, without an ideological orientation, we find it difficult to really, separate these parties, to say which one is which. For instance, now, a PDP guy for more than a decade or so can wake up this morning now and say he's going to APC.
That's cross-capital and defections.
Because he doesn't have anything to lose. There are no principles guiding such decisions. So the parties cannot be distinguished. That's also a problem for the electorate. They find it difficult to say. That's why they always do, okay, let's look at the individuals that are contesting. Okay, this one is a man of integrity. This one is somebody we can trust. And all of that comes in. But what is most important, why are political parties formed? They are formed to espouse certain ideas of the way they think the country or their state should be run. And that's what is called ideology. I must also add on the parting note that there is a school of thought now that is talking about the end of ideology as we know it. We will not be able to go into that now because people believe that a lot of the ideas about governance are coalescing around a set of ideas now. That there must be, the state should not be overbearing on the polity, that there should be free enterprise, human rights, respect for human rights. People should be the focus. Certain things should come to people. Human rights does not mean now that free speech and all that. But we need to have a situation where even people's economic rights must be respected and provided for by the state. And once all that ones are being done, then there will be an end to ideological debate. I think that is where we should be going.